SS Chelyuskin was a Soviet steamship reinforced to navigate through polar ice that became icebound in Arctic waters during navigation along the Northern Maritime Route from Murmansk to Vladivostok. The expedition's task was to determine the possibility to travel by non-icebreaker through the Northern Maritime Route in a single navigation season. It was built in Denmark in 1933 by Burmeister and Wain and named after the 18th-century Russian polar explorer Semion Ivanovich Chelyuskin. The head of the expedition was Otto Yuliyevich Shmidt and the ship's captain was V.I. Voronin. There were 111 people on board the steamship. Her crew members were known as Chelyuskin.The Chelyuskinites. Mission. After leaving Murmansk on August 2, 1933, the steamship managed to get through most of the northern route before it was caught in the ice fields in September. After that it drifted in the ice pack before sinking on February 13, 1934, crushed by the ice packs near Chelyuskin Island in the Chukchi Sea. A crew managed to escape onto the ice and built a makeshift airstrip using only a few spades, ice shovels and 2 crowbars. They had to rebuild the airstrip 13 times, until they were rescued in April of the same year and flown to the village of Vankarim on the coast of the sea. For that, some of the Chelyuskinites were flown further to the village of Ulin, while 53 men walked over 300 miles to get there. The aircraft pilots who took part in search and rescue operations were the first people to receive the newly established highest title of Hero of the Soviet Union. Those pilots were Anatoly Lyapidevsky, Sigismund Levanevsky, Vasily Malokov, Mavriky Slepnyov, Mikhail Vodopyanov, Nikolai Kamenin and Ivan Doronin. Lyapidevsky flew in An-4, the civilian version of the TB-1 heavy bomber, while Slepnov and Levanevsky flew a consolidated fleetster specially brought in from the US for the mission, and the other pilots flew to the Polikarpov R-5. 2 American air mechanics, Clyde Goodwin Armistead and William Latimer Lavery, also helped in the search and rescue of the Chelyuskin.The on September 10, 1934, and were awarded the Order of Lenin. As the steamship became trapped in the entrance to the Bering Strait, the USSR considered the expedition mainly successful, as it had proven that a regular steamship had a chance to navigate the whole Northern Maritime Route in a single season. After a few additional trial runs in 1933 and 1934, the Northern Sea Route was officially opened and commercial exploitation began in 1935. Next year, part of the Soviet Baltic Fleet made the passage to the Pacific where an armed conflict with Japan was looming. Legacy. In the wake of the catastrophe, a central square in Yaroslavl was renamed after the Chelyuskin.The, as was Chelyuskinites Park in Minsk. Marina Tsvetayeva wrote a poem applauding the rescue team. In 1970, East German television produced Chelyuskin, a film about the ship's voyage, directed by Rainer Hausdorff and featuring Eberhard Meles as Professor, Schmidt Dietermann as the surveyor Vasiliev and Fritz Diaz as Valerian Kuybyshev. Efforts to find the wreck of the ship were made by at least 4 different expeditions, and it was finally discovered in September 2006, at a depth of about 50 meters in the Chukchi Sea. The polar explorer Artur Chelingarov argued that the ship should be raised and converted into a museum. Michael Roberts, an English poet, wrote a poem, Chelyuskin, which was included in his collection Poems, published by Jonathan Cape in 1936. Gallery.